Hello, people of the VC. It's Andy back for another 80s metal vinyl update. I've got 5 or 6 records to show you today that I've picked up in recent weeks. So let's get into them. First up, um, purchase off eBay. Um, Minimum purchase. It's a double album. It's not a compilation though. It's Metal Masters by Accept. This is 1984 on the Razor label. This is actually, so it's a double LP, but it's contains full versions of I'm a Rebel and Breaker, so their second and third albums they had released. This isn't to be confused with the German release of Metal Masters, which was on Brain, which contained the first 2 albums, so the self-titled album and I'm a Rebel. Not sure why 2 versions of the same record with the same name came out with different content, although, I mean, even the fact they're on different labels, you'd have thought that they'd maybe come up with different names. But there we go. This cost me about £9 on eBay, but that included postage and packing. I thought that was a pretty good deal for 2 records that I didn't have in my collection. And the cover itself I've had to repair because it was literally it was a gatefold when it shouldn't have been. But just came on plain white sleeves. As I said, on the Razor label, both labels look exactly the same. There's no mention at all on each of the records or the covers as to the source of the information. The fact that side 1 and 2 is I'm a Rebel and side 3 and 4 is Breaker. So there's no information around that at all. But I've not got either of those 2 albums in my collection, so this seems a good way to get them in. I'd probably still pick them up if I came across them, but I'm in no rush now. I'm a Rebel. That's quite a strange album. So it's their second album. I believe that they were kind of led by the record company, and it wasn't exactly the album they wanted to produce. Just taking the first 2 tracks. So I'm a Rebel. The chorus of that, lots of punk overtones in the style of the vocals, and then Save Us, the second song. It's almost like listening to like a 70s disco funk record in the chorus. Very, very strange. And then Breaker, they back to form. It sounds like they're back in control. They know exactly what they want to do. It's a much heavier, raw, angrier album, and so the clear statement of intent about the direction they wanted their style of music to go going forward. But yeah, there we go. Accept Metal Masters double LP. Moving on. Next up. Oh, everything's out of order. Yes. Scorpions. Animal Magnetism. 1980 classic. Lots of Scorpion fans on the VC, more so than me. I mean, I've got into them fairly late in life, playing catch up, but really enjoy this one. I've been looking out for a good copy of this on vinyl for a while, and very pleased to pick it up. I think I'm only missing Savage Amusement from my 80s vinyl catalogue for Scorpion now. So I'll look out for that one. I mean, this is a very solid album throughout. I mean, I even like Lady Starlight, and I'm not a ballad person, but it's nice. Maybe I was in the right mood for it last night, but some killer tracks on here. I've known quite a few of them, and I'm from the Worldwide Live um, live album, obviously, um, and also just the fact that this is what 36 years old, and I've probably heard most of these tracks in one way, shape, or form during that time. Um, Favorite tracks for me: Only a Man and The Zoo, Make It Real. In fact, it doesn't really have many poor tracks at all. Even the title track, Animal Magnetism, which is kind of a bit of a strange one compared to the others on here. I've really enjoyed listening to that one. The cover itself is a classic, and I'd recognise this one even before I had it, but I've never really studied it in detail. Now, there's some hidden message on here to do with maybe dogs and sausages or something like that. But there was something I noticed on this yesterday for the first time ever, and I thought I'd look through it, and but something yesterday I spotted, and maybe everyone else notices this one, but this was yesterday was the first time that I saw it, and I just thought it was a bit strange that given the suggestive nature of this picture, the wanton look upon the lady, and let's face it, the dog's face as well. I mean, this guy here drinking his Carlsberg, he's not thinking, I might be in here. Before I let this bitch and this lovely lady get their evil way with me, I'm a bit chilly. I'm gonna stick on a jumper first. And I've looked at this many times. I never ever noticed before that he is wearing a shirt on the front and a jumper on the back. And I don't know at what point he must have. I don't know where he wasn't holding it before. Maybe she was holding it down in her lap. Maybe I'm reading too much into this. Maybe it's just a continuity error. I don't know. But yeah, I noticed that. I'm going to move on. So anyway, the record itself is in great nick. The inner sleeve, rather than lyrics, just a lyric sheet, excellent condition. We'll get a bit of glare there. And the vinyl itself is on Harvest. I do like that label. No particular reason why. I've seen quite a few people show Harvest releases before, but this is the first one that I've got, and yeah, kind of like that one. So that's good. So yeah, moving on. Magnum, a band that I like, not a heavy metal band by any stretch of the imagination. Very melodic hard rock. I just really like their stuff. Got into them in the 80s. Kind of a good balance for thrash one day, and if you want something a little bit different, Magnum is certainly that. Their stuff's not that difficult to come by, so when I do see a copy in good condition, I pick them up, and picked up a couple recently. First being Magnum Marauder. So this is on Jet Records 1980. So this is a live album, but it doesn't have the feel of a live album in that it doesn't feel like you're listening to a concert. It feels more like a collection of live tracks, but all the tracks were recorded on the same night in the Marquee Club in London in December '79. But the one thing that I really like about this, I've never seen them live, but if this album is a true indication of what they're like live, then Bob Catley's vocals just sound excellent, very clear. Music's really good. So far from being a great live album, it's I really enjoy this. So as I say, on Jet Records, standard Jet label, or certainly standard one for the UK. They differ. Next up is a little bit later in their catalogue. A lot more melodic than their earlier stuff. Certainly Magnum Vigilante. So this is the 1986 follow-up to On a Storyteller's Night. So they had a lot to live up to in my eyes after that album, and they didn't do a bad job of it either. So there's a lot more, a lot more commercial sounding melodic rock, much more prominent keyboards, but some of the songs still pack a punch. Like Red on the Highway, which Red on the Highway is a great song because it follows Midnight, which was itself is a good song. The chorus has, or some part of that song just has this big like saxophone infusion in it, and it kind of makes me think, what the hell is that doing there? And but Red on the Highway makes me forgive that soon after. I'm soon forgetting that it's on there and enjoying the record again. Holy Rider on side 2, that's a great song. I can't help thinking how much heavier it would sound if it didn't have the prominent keyboards over the chorus. It's also with the chorus as well on Holy Rider that so Roger Taylor of Queen co-produced this album, and it has a lot of Queen influences, certainly from, so this is 86, it would have been around the time of A Kind of Magic, I guess, for Queen, and this sounds a little bit, it doesn't sound like Queen, but you know, you can certainly tell the influences that Roger Taylor's had on this one. But you know, I like it. Side 2 keeps delivering as well. When the World Comes Down, and the title track Vigilante itself. So I like it, not to everybody's taste. Certainly this one's very melodic as well, but it's an album I've always liked and enjoy spinning every now and again. Okay, next up I've got a couple of compilations that I picked up. The first one is Axe Attack on K-Tel Records. I remember K-Tel being sort of mail order mail order only back in the day, and actually when I read up about them, I thought it was a bit ironic that when the .com revolution took off, that was kind of the nail in the coffin. You would have thought that a company that was used to selling things by mail order would be able to adapt to that market and make a killing, but unfortunately it killed them. So we've got some great bands on here. Not sure how well you can see. Hold it steady, it should focus. So we've got some Rainbow, some Gillan, some Priest, Ted Nugent, Scorpions, Girl School, UFO, AC/DC, Whitesnake, Iron Maiden, Running Free. Now, from what I've read on this one, this certainly, I don't know if it's at the time or whether it's still true, but this was the only official vinyl pressing of the demo of Running Free that you could get. I don't know whether that's changed or not. But then it carries on with Aerosmith, Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush, Black Sabbath, and Motorhead. It's a killer compilation on K-Tel. This record is not available in the shops. So yeah, enjoy that one. It's in pretty good shape. This is from 1980. Axe Attack, and is K-Tel International, so I think it's a UK pressing. Yeah, UK pressing. So finally, Another compilation. This is a Music for Nations release, and this is Hell Comes to Your House. And this is from, I didn't look up before, I think. Didn't look up at all. So, hopefully there's a date on here. Yes, this is Music for Nations 1984. And focus. There we go. How Comes to Your House. So who's on here? We have Man of War, Exciter, Anthrax, Earth Shaker, a band that I haven't heard before, Hellion, Loudness, Metallica, Hellstar, The Rods, Tsunami, Earthshaker, and Alaska. Now, Hellstar, this one, I'd never heard of them either until I've just finished watching Scott Waters and Trog's third part of the 1984. I think they showed a Hellstar album in that one, so that kind of put things into context. Oh yeah, so 1984 compilation. There we go. So this would, I think, be a fantastic compilation, but unfortunately the quality of the vinyl itself, I'm not sure you can see on here, it's really scuffed. Yeah, I think you can probably see if you've got a, maybe if you're watching high definition you can see that, but it's really scuffed. It really crackles. I've done all I can to really try and clean it up, clean it by hand. I even tried the glue method on it, but it's just beyond help, really. It's just about listenable to, but yeah, I'm a bit disappointed because I kind of, in hindsight, I paid over the odds for it, but given the number of bargains that I've had recently, I guess I was due a dud sometime or other, but doesn't take away the disappointment. So yeah, I like the inner sleeve as well. Gives me like kind of like a checklist of other albums to look for. Yeah, so there we have it. Hell Comes to Your House, a Music for Nations compilation from 1984. Right, that's all I have for today. What will I be doing next? So I've still got a ton of stuff in the inbox, a few new albums to show, so there'll be some more videos coming up soon. I'll be doing another random records video in the next couple of days. If you haven't watched any of those videos that I've done, do check them out. I mean, it's pretty much the same as this. So the records that I show in this 80s metal update is pretty much the new stuff that I've been picking up and adding to the collection. But in my random records series, I'm just showing the records that I haven't shown on previous videos that I've had in my collection. A lot of the stuff from you know, my original 80s when I was a teenager and just collecting music rather than collecting records at the time. So if you haven't checked those out, check them out. As I say, it's the same sort of thing. So if you like these ones, I think you'll like those ones as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in another video very soon. Cheers, everyone. I've really fucked this up. What am I going to do? I'm going to do